Hello viewers and welcome to my new video. In today's video I'm going to be talking about streaming. So this is part of the series on how to make money from music, and if you have watched the introductory video on that series, this is the part in which I'm talking about how to make money from the actual music product or music entity or a song or a master, depending on how you would like to call that. Okay, so streaming is probably the most popular way of trying to say make money out of music, and the reason I'm saying trying to is because of course the rates that artists actually get paid for streaming are very low, sort of per stream. So you need to actually be able to generate significant amounts of streams in order to actually start generating some income that you can actually be able to, I suppose, sustain yourself on, or actually treat as one of your sort of streams of income, and you can include that in it as an artist. Okay, it's not impossible. There are people out there who have done that, and I'm sure that some of you who are watching this video now will be able to do that as well. Obviously there are some strategies around that and things like that, so I'm going to explain it step by step, because I understand that some of you who are watching this video might be absolutely completely new to this, and that's kind of partially the whole purpose of this video as well as my channel, to explain these things in the simplest possible way to the independent artists or to the people who are starting out in music and they want to do something, and maybe they want to build out maybe a career out of what they love doing, that kind of thing. Okay, so the streaming, effectively, what it means is that you as an artist can upload your tracks onto streaming platforms, and there's quite a lot of these streaming platforms out there. And of course, as we know, this is the most popular way that people consume music these days. It used to be different. It used to be selling records before. It used to be, this is how both record companies and artists made their money in the past, when they were selling the actual physical copies of the records. That's reduced significantly these days, and today we have streaming, or have had streaming for some years now. Actually, is the most popular way of consuming music. So what do you need to do in order to have your music out for streaming? So firstly, obviously, you need to have the product. You need to have a recorded and mixed and mastered song, so that it's ready for streaming. Yeah, so that's obviously step number one. When you've got that song, what you need to do next is, because as an artist you cannot upload songs directly onto streaming platforms such as Spotify, YouTube Music, Pandora, Tidal, etc. Okay, so because you cannot do that by yourself directly, what you need is an aggregator or a music distributor, as they are called it. Okay, so a music distributor is effectively like a middleman. It's a company that is a middleman between yourself as an artist and a streaming platform. Okay, so there's various, I actually have some videos on this. At the moment I'm using TuneCore, and I'm pretty happy with them in terms of what they offer for what you pay. But you can shop around. I used to be with a couple other ones. There's some videos. There's quite a lot of these platforms such as DistroKid, CD Baby, and so on and so forth. Okay, so once you have chosen your music distributor, you then obviously have to sort of pay. Usually it's based either on a subscription fee or some kind of like a per release payment. So it all depends on what plan you want to go with, or what music distributor you want to go with. Okay, once you've chosen that, you then upload your masters, you upload your songs, that's onto the distributor's website, and you need to also produce artwork. So for every song or every album that you release, you need some artwork that you can upload. Some of them actually give you some hand with that, and they give some templates where you can use on their website, so you can actually generate or create your own artwork within the distributor's website. When you've done all these things, you can add lyrics as well. So you do all these things, and then you schedule a date of release. Now, when I'm talking about this, what's important to note is that there is something that you can do when your song or your album gets released, or just before it gets released actually, which is you can pitch your songs. When it comes to uploading it to Spotify, you can actually pitch a song to Spotify official playlist curators. Now, the way to do that is when you are sort of firstly uploading these tracks onto, say, Spotify, you will be able, through your distributor, to get a link by which you can then create your account on Spotify for Artists website. Okay, so this is really important. So you can get your own account on Spotify for Artists as an artist. Now, why this is important is because that way, through Spotify for Artists, and I think Apple Music have the same sort of similar feature as well, you effectively can manage your Spotify profile. Okay, so this is what you will look like on Spotify. So for instance, like a background photo, you can manage, you can create your own playlists, you can sort of add your favorite song for a particular week or month or whatever, that kind of thing, so this is quite important that you set that up at the same time. So when you've got all that set up and you've got that account on Spotify for Artists, that way, through that account, you will be able to pitch your song to Spotify curator playlists. So this is like an official Spotify stuff, okay? So you can do that. And what I would recommend here as well, and this is the strategy that I'm going to be taking actually beginning from this year, is that especially if you are a lesser known artist and not that many people have heard of you, it's probably a better strategy to release singles rather than an entire album all in one go, right? And let me explain why. Is even if you've recorded an album, for example, and you have, say, 10 songs altogether, it would be better to release them as individual singles. Now, why that is, in my opinion, better, or at least from a marketing perspective and a promotional perspective, it just gives you more options and it gives you more opportunities for your songs to be picked up and to be heard. And why that is because you can, so for instance, you can only pitch to these Spotify playlists only once per release. So for example, if you release a 10-track album, you can only pick one song out of that album and pitch it. Then the entire album gets released and that's it. You've pitched it once. If it didn't get picked up, that's it. That you've missed your chance effectively. So if you want more of these opportunities, or sort of extend your amount of chances that you can get that song can get sort of picked up for a playlist, it would be better to divide it into 10 individual songs or 10 individual singles and release it, say maybe one a month. And then you release it once, you pitch that one, you pitch another one, you pitch all 10 of them individually to these Spotify playlists. Okay, so that increases your chances. So that's a good strategy, I think, to have in terms of publishing or releasing these songs onto these streaming platforms. Now, another thing that is important, at least in my view, I mean, you might think differently on this, but when I release my songs, I always ask for them to be released on all streaming platforms out there. Why? Because again, that increases my chances. So, I'm on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, YouTube Music, all these different other platforms that are out there. Now, as well, what's really key, especially in today's world, in the world of social media platforms, or these sort of little platforms that have this what they call micro content, although this is changing a little bit now, but say TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. So YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, and TikToks, you can actually, when you are putting those songs for streaming, that not only do they go to these streaming platforms, you can also have them available on TikTok, Instagram, slash Facebook, and YouTube as your official releases. So when we talk about making money, what that means is that when somebody, for example, uses your sound, and you can do this by yourself, by the way, so you can release your own song. So say you do a YouTube short, or you do a TikTok or whatever, and if you want to do like a short video, and I can make some more videos on this particular subject, I expand on it a little bit more, but you can make a short video, vertical video, and you can sort of sync your own sound with that video. The sound has been already there, is already there, available in the sound library, because it's been submitted to TikTok or to YouTube or to Instagram through your music distributor. So all these platforms then recognize that, oh yeah, this is your song, and obviously the more this video is watched, for example, and the longer is watched, the more chances you have that you are going to get some royalties out of that. So what you need to remember, for all these streams that happen out there, your songs are being used, and therefore you are entitled to royalties, okay? And this is how you make money effectively out of that. I've got another video on it, because Spotify is currently, unfortunately, capping these royalties so you need to have at least 1,000 streams per year per song, otherwise you're not gonna get anything. And I've got my other video on that, which I would encourage you to watch. But effectively, that's the journey. First you record the song, get it mixed and mastered, upload it, find a distributor that you are happy with, upload it through that distributor, distribute it to as many of these platforms as you can. Once that's done, before actually you upload, maybe upload one track at a time, try to do your pitching, and basically that's it. There are also websites that you can use to submit your tracks or pitch your tracks to other playlists. Now, I'm going to make a separate video on that, because that's a separate subject in itself, and I want to really, really be able to explore it in more detail. I also wanted to tell you before I finish the video that I also offer consultation services. You can actually book a call with me, and if you would like to do that, I'm going to leave the details in the description of this video as well, so you can contact me and we can schedule a meeting in case you need some help in terms of growing as an artist or developing yourself as a musician, as an artist. But for now, this is the end of this video. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.